Chicago is more than drill, man. We're more than drill. We're more than just the city that's known for killing. You can't just bring your troops over here and think that shit gonna get better. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode, not straight from the go. It won't be a podcast. This is just a little short series episode that was kind of put on my heart this week, really a couple days ago. I'm not sure what to call this shit. I'm not gonna take too much time. Should take me about 20-25 minutes. But I made this episode off the recent events that's been going on in Chicago. And what really lit a fire under me was I seen a tweet from FBI Director Kash Patel. I'm gonna read you all the tweet. Kind of made me like a little upset, a little like boiled my blood. So he tweeted, "Chicago will be saved. This FBI will continue to crush violent crimes there and all around the country. Heading to the Windy City now." This comes off the heels of Chicago being voted the best big city in the United States, by the way. Shout out to us, man. We already knew that, but I just want to address that tweet because there's so many layers of that tweet. Not just from him, it's been from Donald Trump, it's been from the MAGA administration. And I just don't appreciate the city being called what it is being called, basically a war zone. And this dates all the way back to probably about 2014 where we was called Chirac. And I just don't get it. What makes you all think that Chicago needs to be saved? For one, let me just read off these stats right here. April 2025 was the lowest monthly total since 2015, February of 2015. July 2025, there were 44 murders. Still more than we would like, but it was a 35% decrease compared to July 2024. Our mid-year report for the year. First half saw a significant drop in homicides, not just in Chicago, but all around the nation. The United States. As of October 4th, 2025, there have been 331 homicides in the city of Chicago, which is a downward trend from last year. We're on pace to be down from last year. We had 573 murders last year, 2024. In 2023, it was 499. It might be lower than 499, especially because it's about to get cold outside. People are less likely to go kill when it's cold. I just don't get it. Today is October 8th, by the way, so I don't know when you all may see this. It might be October 9th, October 10th, whenever. But as of October 28th, they're reporting it's been 330, well, October 4th. By October, I don't know what the homicides will be, on October 11th, which is when they do the weekly reports. But it's getting a little annoying. We don't need to be saved. We don't need to be saved. We've been going down every year since 2022. As of 2022, I believe it was 715 murders in 2022. In 2023, it was 621. Last year in 2024, I said 573 murders. It was 581 murders in 2024. And we're on a downward trend from that. So why do we need saved? I feel like the mayor and the governor and all our political people who are in office in the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago have been doing a great job of trying to get murders to come down. We don't need the president. We don't need the FBI director. We don't need your ICE. We don't need your ICE agents. We don't need your troops from different states coming over here to police us. We don't need it. I'm sick and tired of this shit, man. I'm really am. Because what you all say affects how people look at us. Even though we were voted the best big city, there are still people I know personally that acts like they're scared to come to Chicago because of gun violence. Like it's not gun violence in New York. Like it's not gun violence in LA. Like it's not gun violence in Miami. Like it's not gun violence in Atlanta. It's gun violence in a lot of different cities that everyone likes to go to, but people act like Chicago's just the boogeyman, like it's like a ghost town, like it's like Gotham. And it really pisses me off, bro. I'm tired of it. I'm finna read some more stats. Total crime rate across the nation. Chicago not even on. They not on neither one of them. They not on the total crime rate. They're not on the highest violent crime rate or the highest property crime rates. I didn't put property crimes because property crimes. That's I don't want to say that's baby shit because you shouldn't be stealing or breaking into people's homes. But property crimes is just property crimes. Violent crimes is what I really look at because that's what they think we are. Think we're a violent city, which us as Chicagoans, yeah, we understand that. But the murders is not just gonna go down in 2 days or you putting your troops over here. The total crime rate across the United States. Memphis is one, Portland, and this is in order. Memphis is one. Portland, Detroit, Seattle, Baltimore, Denver, Nashville, Philly, Houston, and San Antonio, with Memphis being 3 times the national average. Let me say that again. Memphis is more than 3 times the national average for total crime rate. Highest violent crimes. Memphis is number one again, which there's 6 times the national rate. This is in order. Detroit, Baltimore, 3 times the national rate. Houston, Nashville, Denver, DC, Philly, Indianapolis, and Phoenix. Most of those cities I named after Baltimore are all 2 times the national crime rate. Chicago's nowhere to be found on here. And that's not to shit on these cities and be like, well, why you ain't sending them there? Because you really shouldn't be doing that, period. If you're not going to solve the issue, why are you sending troops? Sending troops to any city, sending agents to any city is not going to solve shit. All you're going to do is make it more violent because people are going to be riled up. Your agents is causing probably more murders because they're going into the wrong homes. They breaking into people's homes, pulling them out, pulling kids out the middle of the fucking night because they want to live out their racist fantasies. You in the South Shore neighborhood, which is majority black, by the way, which is over east. For those who not from Chicago, you in the South Shore neighborhood, going into a majority black area. It's some Hispanics over there too, but that don't mean they're illegal. Now we have had a problem with probably Venezuelans and stuff coming. Woo woo. But you can't just arrest people because you feel like they are illegal. You don't know that. Do you arrest the illegal white people that come over here from maybe Russia or Germany or any of these other majority white countries? No, you don't do that. You don't do that. But you gonna go into these black and brown neighborhoods and just do anything you fucking feel like doing. I just seen a video the other day where 2 ICE agents is trying to pull a Mexican man into their car because they think he's illegal. You don't even know him. How you know he illegal? You don't even know him. That's not proper police work or proper. Well, yeah, basically policing work. You can't just do that. You gotta do your research. You gotta know where these people live and work. You can't just look at somebody and be like, "You come here." Like, no, fuck out of here. That's bullshit, man. And you know, I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. tired of this Trump administration. I'm tired of, the FBI director, Cash Patel, by the way, who just got destroyed a couple of weeks ago by Rep. Jasmine Crockett. Shout out to her who knows her shit. And they be calling her ghetto because she's a black woman that speaks her mind, but that's neither here or there. I'm sick and tired of this shit. So let me just list off some national contributions that Chicago has provided. We pioneered the first modern skyscrapers. Why you think every city now got big, tall skyscrapers? That's because of us. We started that shit. You're welcome. The refrigerated rail car. The first Ferris wheel, which by the way is at Navy Pier. The first TV remote control. The first car radio. The first handheld mobile phone. You wouldn't have an iPhone if it wasn't for Chicago. Economics and trade, we're big in that. Not only that, the transportation between the Great Lakes and all of that stuff, we contribute so much that we should be known for. Let me list off some Chicago black culture contributions. Bronzeville, which is known as the Black Metropolis. I keep saying that wrong. Metropolis, excuse me. We attracted thousands of black people from the South with jobs, factories, and stockyards. If you don't know, Chicago was a major city to come to back in the 1800s when they were escaping slavery from the South, escaping things that they didn't want, racism in the South. Yeah, we were a big hub for that, which is why some of y'all think that Chicago people have Southern accents. That's because our ancestors come from the South. We were the birth of the blues and home of the soul train, which produced Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf. The Chicago Defender, the most widely read newspaper around the world. It's a black newspaper. The Southside Community Art Center, which was vital to the cultural hub from people coming to the South where you heard music and stuff that was similar to what you heard in the South. The Chicago Freedom Movement, which was led by Martin Luther King Jr., contributing to the Fair Housing Act that was made in 1968. The union activism, the Brotherhood of the Brotherhood of the Sleeping Car Porters, which is BSCP, which played a role in the labor movement and the civil rights movement in the 60s. Also, we are the home of Ebony and Jet magazine, which was, by the way, owned by Johnson Publishing Company, which, by the way, was the first black-owned building downtown Chicago. The first one. Dr. Daniel Hale Williams performed the first successful open heart surgery. If not, he was one of the first. But I believe he was the first. Black Chicagoans invented the fireman's pole. So, I just want to let you all know, man. I went through all that. Chicago is more than drill, man. We're more than drill. We're more than just the city that's known for killing. You can't just bring your troops over here and think that shit gonna get better. You need to do something. What happened to all those jobs that y'all get rid of? How about you put some more jobs over there? And not just any type of job, not just no McDonald's, not just no what's the word? Low wage jobs or minimum wage jobs. That's what I mean. You can't just put that in a community and then say, well, we're giving y'all jobs. No, put jobs that people can actually make a living off of so they can provide for their family. That's where most of the violence comes from. Most of the violence stems from no jobs, no economic income. So now these kids, or not even just these kids, but my generation, before this generation and generations before that, What do you think they're gonna do for money? They're gonna go out here and sell drugs. Well, back then sell drugs. They don't do that now. But that is why the violence is the way it is. But as I just told y'all, it's a downward trend of violence. It's not what y'all think. Like, yeah, can we do better with violence? Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, violence can be better. Lowering the violence can be better. But you can't just put your troops over there and say, better the violence or kill people or jail people and think it's going to get better. That's not how it works. You have to do something differently. You can't just put people in the from the army or whatever you're doing. You can't just send troops over and think that it's going to get better. You have to do something differently. You have to do something differently. And I feel like the Trump administration don't care, the FBI don't care, the CIA don't care, none of these people care. They will do anything to stay at the top. Well, they will do anything to keep people down. You can't just put more police in a city that already got enough police doing them wrong anyway. It don't work like that. This is a generational curse. And for the people who think that the violence is so bad now, especially you older Chicago people who are 40 and up, who think the younger generation just do crime. The crime in Chicago was worse in the 90s than it is now. The 90s, 1992 or 1993, I got it right here. Yeah, 1992 till this day is still the highest homicide total that we've reached. It's still the highest homicide total that we've reached. We haven't touched 948 since not. We haven't touched 900 since 1994. So for you older people who think it's just the kids, they know you guys are doing it too. You were doing it as well. It just ain't the kids now. Y'all were doing it too. I'm even looking after 1994. 1995, you had 821 total homicides. 96, 798. We haven't touched 800. I mean, we did a couple years ago, 2022, 2021, 2020 was, that was bad, but that was contributed to COVID. You ain't got shit else to do. You at home all day. So that's what that was contributed to. 2020 had 779, 2021 had 805, 2022 had 715. But since 2022, we've gone down to 621 in 2023, and then 500. But I think, yeah, that's murders and yeah, that's murders and murders and homicide count. I could have sworn he said 499 in 2023, but maybe that was the wrong site. But I believe this one is correct. And I just don't get it. We more than drill, man. We're more than a drill city. We more than kill. As I just showed y'all, you guys don't give us no credit for what we've done before. You guys just think that we're a kill city, and that's not the case. As you can see, the violence is going down. So I'm gonna just say this before I get on, man. Actually, I got a few more things to say. Take this with y'all though. In life, period. Slow progress is still progress. Just because you're not going from here to there like that, don't mean that it's not gonna happen. It will happen. You have to be patient. You can't expect fast results. And this is just life, period. This is for anything you're doing. Business, well, especially business. If you're starting a business, if you're starting a brand, you can't expect to be a millionaire in one day. You got to learn how to be a hundredaire before you could be a thousandaire. You got to be a thousandaire before you can learn to be a millionaire, and so on and so forth. It takes patience, and if you stay consistent, eventually you will go from here to there. But if you expect things just to change overnight, not considering what these people may have seen, not considering what these people may have been through, then you're sadly mistaken. A lot of people in the hood done seen people die right in front of them. They got worried, may have gone to school and may have gotten jumped because they from a certain hood. They may have, lost a lot of family in this shit. And they feel like they gotta go avenge them. I've lost family in this shit. I've seen people get shot. I've been around gunshots. So I'm not saying this is a motherfucker who just a random motherfucker. I lived on the southeast side. I'm from 83rd and King Drive. And I moved out west. And then I moved back to the south side. Close to 79th. I'm not just no random motherfucker saying this. I'm somebody who really from the city, who still live in the city, who's still working in the city. My family is still in the city. I don't have really a lot of family that live in the suburbs. Most of my family still lives in the city. And they live in these different areas such as Chatham. I'm from Chatham. And to see Chatham where it's at now, where it's boarded up buildings, Chatham didn't used to be like that in the early 2010s and 2000s when I lived over there. Chatham used to be a big hub for black people. A lot of homes was owned by elderly people. My great grandmother used to own a home on like 78th and Prairie or 77th and Prairie or something like that. I forget. I forget which block. But it was in the Chatham area. My mom and my grandmother grew up on 77th and Prairie. No, my great grandmother didn't own a home over there, but my grandmother and my mom used to live over there. I forget where my great grandmother used to live at. It used to be somewhere farther. I think 80 something in like Indiana or somewhere over there. I know my great grandmother used to live in Chatham though. A lot of my family grew up in Chatham. My grandfather grew up in Chatham. My aunties, my uncles, my cousins, we all grew up in Chatham. So I'm not saying this is a motherfucker who just not from it. I want to see the city get better. And of course, 500 murders, even 331 at this point in time is still a lot because that's still at least one person a day getting killed. If we can get it under one person a day being killed and don't have to worry about someone getting killed, we'll be in good hands. But you can't expect this shit to just poof. Everything happen. This is not a fairy tale. We don't have fairly odd parents. It's not gonna be like that. You have to put programs in place. You have to put jobs in place. You have to put things in place to where these people can focus on other things that's not the streets. You guys, you know what I'm saying? People gotta be able to afford stuff. How do you expect people, for example, people living under the poverty line? You want them to be happy with that. And you just tell them, well, this America, you can always make more money. Yeah, right. Whatever. I I'm just baffled. I'm appalled. My blood is boiling because I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of people just acting like this is a war zone, and I'm tired of people. For you people that's out of town, Chicago is a beautiful city, a nice city, full of things. This is a big city. There's plenty of things and plenty of places to move around where you don't have to be in the violence. Most of the violence that happens because of gang violence. You're never gonna run into no shooting really like downtown. There's been a few within the past 5 years, but you still have a 99% chance of not seeing the shooting downtown. Trust me. If anybody gets shot, anybody that's gotten shot downtown, the case has been solved. But you're not gonna get shot downtown because ain't nobody hanging out downtown. Most people who from the trenches, man, they scared to leave their crib or scared to leave their neighborhood because they feel like they're gonna be lacking outside of that. That's why they can't do nothing. So I'm just saying, man. I just want you all to know we're more than just drill. It's more than drill, and I understand a lot of y'all probably listen to drill music and think like, damn, Chicago crazy. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I know y'all thinking that, but it's a big city, and the chances of you being around that are very slim unless you looking for that. Like a lot of you motherfuckers who go on the O Block and thinking that shit is a I can't even think of the word right now. A site to go see though. Like you going sightseeing though. That's like going to New York and going to Marcy Projects. Bro, those niggas in the trenches over there, they will rob you. You could get killed over there fucking around. Like, I don't know, man. I think going to O Block to go sightsee is lame as hell anyway, man. That's the projects, dog. That's a gated community for a reason. So, like I said, man, take this with you. Slow progress is still progress. And also I want to just say happy birthday, man, to Chicago's very own G Herbo, man. Nigga 30 years old. Speaking about drill. 30 years old, man. We've seen some people who were talented from that era and they not even here no more. I don't even think some of them made it past 21. So let's give G Herbo his flowers, man. I can't wait to hear Lil Herb, man. And I'm finna go watch his interview on Club Shay Shay. I think that's a major win for the city. So, but like I said, man, slow progress is still progress. Slow progress is still progress. Stay consistent and you can take a big leap. This is not just for murders and such. This is for life. Slow progress is still progress, man. I love y'all. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you took something with you. I will be doing more videos like this in the future. And I love y'all, man. Thank you to all my supporters. Keep helping me grow. Keep helping me grow this channel so that we can change the narrative. I want to change the narrative around Chicago. We are changing the narrative. We're changing the narrative. We're not going to let this narrative go that we a war zone. So like I said, I love y'all, man. Enjoy the rest of y'all day, man. Make sure you like and subscribe too. And share this video. Share it with your friends, your family, co-workers, whoever, man. We changing the narrative. I'm really pushing peace. And I know fake shit. I'm really pushing peace, man. Love y'all, man.